Lucy Maud Montgomery sent her novel to 5 publishers. They all said no.
All of them?
Everyone. She threw it in a hatbox and forgot about it.
She just gave up?
Almost. Years later, she pulled it out and tried one more time. That book, Anne of Green Gables, over 50 million copies.
From a hatbox to 50 million?
And here's what makes it even better. Montgomery herself was a lonely child. Her mother died when she was only 2. Her father left. She grew up with her grandparents.
So she knew what it felt like to be unwanted.
She put all that loneliness into one character. A skinny girl with red hair and a wild imagination. Anne Shirley.
That's why the book feels so real.
Montgomery didn't invent Anne. She remembered her. This book made 2 English expressions famous. Kindred spirit, someone who truly understands you.
I love that.
And scope for the imagination, room to dream big. Now, let's go to Prince Edward Island. It's 1908. A shy farmer is waiting for a boy at a station. But the person who steps off the train, she changes everything.
Matthew Cuthbert drove his horse to Bright River Station. He and his sister Marilla wanted to adopt a boy who could help on their farm at Green Gables. But when Matthew got to the station, there was no boy. Only a thin girl with bright red hair in 2 long braids. Her name was Anne Shirley. Anne talked and talked, she could not stop. She called the road of cherry trees the White Way of Delight. She asked Matthew to call her Cordelia, a prettier name. Matthew was quiet. He never talked much. But on the ride home, something happened inside him. He knew they had to send her back. She was not a boy. But already he did not want to. At Green Gables, Marilla looked at Anne with hard eyes. "We asked for a boy, not a girl." "We're sending you back," Marilla said. Anne's face fell. Tears ran down her cheeks. She told Marilla about her life before Green Gables. No one had ever wanted her, not once. She had taken care of other people's children since she was small. Something in Marilla's chest moved, just a little. Marilla took Anne to Mrs. Spencer's house to return her. But there, a woman named Mrs. Blewett wanted Anne instead. Mrs. Blewett was cold and sharp. Anne looked terrified. Marilla spoke before she could stop herself. "We will keep her." Anne burst into tears. This time, tears of pure joy. One day, Mrs. Rachel Lynde came to visit Green Gables. She was the biggest gossip in town. She knew everything. She looked at Anne and shook her head. "She's skinny, and that red hair, like carrots." Anne exploded. Her gray-green eyes burned with anger. "You are rude. You are a mean, horrible woman." Marilla was shocked. Anne had gone too far. She told Anne to apologize. Anne refused at first. But finally, Anne went to Mrs. Lynde's house. She fell on her knees and gave the most dramatic apology ever. Mrs. Lynde was so impressed she actually liked Anne after that. That was Anne. She felt everything deeply and hid nothing. Then Anne met the girl next door, Diana Barry. Dark hair, bright eyes, and a warm smile. "Will you be my bosom friend forever?" Anne asked. Diana laughed and said yes. They swore an oath. They gave secret names to every pond and path. Anne called her favorite lake the Lake of Shining Waters. Life was perfect. Until Anne made a terrible mistake. She meant to serve Diana raspberry juice. But she grabbed the wrong bottle. It was currant wine. Diana got drunk. Her mother was furious. Mrs. Barry banned Anne from ever seeing Diana again. Anne cried for days. Her heart was broken. But then Diana's baby sister got very sick one night. Anne rushed over and saved her. The friendship came back. At school, Anne met Gilbert Blythe. He was the smartest and most handsome boy in class. Gilbert wanted Anne to notice him, but she wouldn't look. So he pulled her red braid and whispered, "Carrots! Carrots!" Anne's eyes turned to fire. She grabbed her slate and smashed it over his head. The slate broke in two. The teacher punished Anne, but her pride did not bend. Gilbert tried to apologize. He said he was sorry. Anne looked right through him. "I will never forgive you." And she meant it. For years they were rivals. In every test, every contest, Anne fought to beat Gilbert. Not because she hated him, because she could not let go. Anne's imagination got her into trouble more than once. She hated her red hair more than anything. A salesman sold her hair dye. "It will turn black," he said. But it turned green. Bright, ugly green. Marilla had to cut Anne's hair short. Then came the boat adventure. Anne acted out a poem, a maiden floating down a river. She lay in an old flat boat and drifted away. But the boat leaked. Water rushed in. Anne grabbed a bridge post and held on tight. Gilbert Blythe rowed up and rescued her. Anne thanked him. But she still refused to forgive him. Years passed. Anne grew up. She was 16 now. She took the entrance exam for Queen's Academy and passed. Gilbert passed too. They fought for the top spot. In the end, Anne won the Avery Scholarship. It meant she could go to Redmond University. Matthew was so proud. His quiet eyes said everything. But then the bank failed. All the Cuthbert savings, gone. Matthew read the news. His face went white. He clutched his chest and fell from his chair. Anne ran to him, but it was too late. Matthew's last words, "I'm so proud of you, Anne." Anne held his hand. The house went silent. The kitchen at Green Gables had never felt so empty. Anne had lost many things in her life. But this time she lost the closest thing to a father. After Matthew's death, things got worse. Marilla's eyes were failing. She could barely see. They might have to sell Green Gables. Anne made her choice. She gave up the scholarship. No university. She would stay in Avonlea and teach. She would take care of Marilla. She would keep Green Gables. When Gilbert heard, he did something no one expected. He had the Avonlea teaching job, but he gave it to Anne. After years of silence, Anne finally spoke to him. They walked together on a quiet road and became friends at last. Anne looked ahead. The road was not straight. It curved around a bend, but that was okay. "God's in his heaven," Anne whispered. "All's right with the world."
Wow, that ending.
God's in his heaven. After everything? That hit hard.
Right. Now let's go back to the very beginning. Matthew, a shy farmer waiting for a boy at a station.
And a red-haired girl shows up instead.
She won't stop talking. Trees, lakes, imaginary names. But here's what matters. Matthew listens. Nobody had ever listened to Anne before, not once.
And already he doesn't want to send her back.
Montgomery writes that exact line. Already he did not want to. One carriage ride, that's all it took.
But then Marilla wants to return her.
We need a boy, not a girl. Cold, practical. But she meets Mrs. Blewett, cold, sharp, ready to use Anne.
Why does that change Marilla's mind so fast?
Because she sees something she recognizes, loneliness. Marilla knows what it's like to be alone. She says it, we will keep her, before she even decides.
So a kindred spirit is like a soulmate?
Not quite. A soulmate is about love. A kindred spirit is about understanding, deeper than romance. And that's the heart of this whole book. But Anne's biggest weakness, her temper.
Mrs. Lynde called her ugly. I'd be mad too.
Sure, but Anne doesn't just get angry, she explodes. You are rude. You are a mean, horrible woman.
Honestly, I kind of loved that moment.
Most readers do, but Montgomery is showing you something. Anne feels everything at full volume, no filter. Joy, anger, sadness, there's no off switch.
No middle setting.
Right, and that's why Diana is so important. Anne meets Diana and asks right away, "Will you be my bosom friend forever?"
Bosom friend? That's the same as best friend, right?
Not quite. Best friend is casual, everyone has one. A bosom friend is someone close to your heart.
I don't think I have a bosom friend.
I'll be your bosom friend, Will.
Really?
No.
Ha! But for Anne, this is deadly serious. She accidentally gets Diana drunk, currant wine instead of juice. Imagine this. You're 11, you finally found your person, and she's taken away because of one mistake.
For someone like Anne, that's the end of the world.
Now, Gilbert Blythe.
He pulled her braid and called her carrots.
The one thing you never say to Anne Shirley. She grabs her slate and smashes it on his head.
Slate? Like the rock?
A small flat board for writing, like a tiny chalkboard.
She broke it in 2 pieces, in front of everyone.
And Gilbert tries to apologize, again and again.
Why didn't she forgive him? He said sorry.
Because it was never about the insult. It was about pride, Anne's deepest flaw. She couldn't let go, not of the anger, of the control.
So vanity and pride are the same thing?
Different. Vanity is about how you look. Pride is about how people see you. Anne dyes her hair green. That's vanity. She refuses to forgive Gilbert. That's pride.
And Gilbert still saves her from drowning.
She thanked him, but still said no. That's stubborn.
Her pride costs her, but later it earns her something too.
And that leads to Matthew.
The most heartbreaking part of this story, right here. Anne grows up, she wins the Avery Scholarship.
She can finally go to university.
Matthew is so proud, his quiet eyes say it all. But then the bank fails, all their savings gone. Matthew reads the news, his face goes white. Imagine this, you run home to the person you love most. He's on the floor, he can barely speak. And the last thing he says, "I'm so proud of you, Anne."
That broke me.
In the whole book, Matthew barely says a word.
That's the genius. He's the quietest man in Avonlea. But his last words are the loudest in the whole story.
Why only 7 words?
Because that's Matthew. He never needed more. Montgomery wrote, "The kitchen had never felt so empty."
She finally had a home. And now half of it is gone.
But Anne doesn't break. She cries. She grieves. And then she stands back up, like she always does.
Just like she always did.
After Matthew, Marilla's eyes start failing. They might have to sell Green Gables.
So Anne gives up the scholarship.
Her dream, university, everything she fought for.
To stay home and take care of Marilla.
She walked away from it, all of it.
That's not giving up. That's growing up.
And then Gilbert does something no one expects. He had the Avonlea teaching job, he gives it to Anne.
After she ignored him for years?
Years, he gives it up without asking for anything.
So, forgiving someone means forgetting what they did?
Not exactly. Forgetting means it's gone. Forgiving means letting go of the anger, keeping the lesson. And finally, Anne forgives Gilbert.
After all that time.
They walk on a quiet road and become friends at last. The road bends around a corner. You can't see ahead.
Bend, like turning?
A curve, a turn where you don't know what's coming. Anne says, the road doesn't end, it just bends. And something new is always waiting around the corner. So, what is this story really about? A girl no one wanted, with nothing but her imagination.
And it saved her.
But here's what most people miss. It wasn't just Anne who was saved. Matthew was shy, he never spoke, Anne made him a father.
Marilla never smiled. Anne made her laugh.
Gilbert couldn't reach anyone. Anne taught him patience.
Anne didn't find a home, she built one around her.
From nothing.
And remember, Montgomery almost gave up too. A hat box, 5 rejections, years of silence.
But she pulled it out again, just like Anne at that bridge.
She held on, and 50 million readers are glad she did. Anne's last words in the narration, "God's in his heaven, all's right with the world." That's not a girl pretending everything is fine. That's a girl choosing hope after everything.
Have you ever had a kindred spirit? Someone who truly gets you?
Tell us about them. We'd love to hear your story.